Ever wonder how our brain processes information and how it affects our interaction with the world around us? Welcome to the intriguing domain of cognitive psychology, the study of mental processes. One key player in this field is Miller's Law, a concept proposed by George A. Miller that has a significant bearing on our day-to-day life. Today we're diving deep into the concept of Miller's Law and its relevance in our lives. So, what exactly is Miller's Law? Well, let's take a step back to the mid-20th century. A cognitive psychologist named George A. Miller was observing human behavior and noticed a pattern. He found that, on average, our brains can juggle about 7 items, give or take 2, in our working memory. It's a bit like when you're trying to carry groceries from the car to the house. You might be able to handle 5 bags, or perhaps you're a bit stronger and can manage 9. But push beyond that, and things start to topple. Miller's observation wasn't just a random fact about human cognition. It was a realization about the limits of our brain's capacity, and it became known as Miller's Law. Now you might be thinking, okay, that's interesting, but what does it have to do with me? Well, quite a lot actually. Whether you're a student trying to memorize facts for an exam, a professional juggling tasks, or a designer creating an interface, Miller's Law plays a vital role. It reminds us that there's a limit to how much information we can process at once. That's Miller's Law in a nutshell. A fundamental principle of cognitive psychology that influences how we process information. It's like a friendly reminder from our brain saying, hold on, I can only handle so much at once, let's break things down a bit, shall we? And as we'll see in the next scene, this understanding can be a powerful tool when it comes to design. Now, why should you, a designer or a curious individual, care about Miller's Law? Well, it's simple. It's all about enhancing user experience. When we turn to practical applications, we find that this psychological principle plays a significant role in the world of design, specifically user interface design. Let's bring in some wisdom from Jeff Johnson's book, Designing with the Mind in Mind. Johnson illustrates how Miller's Law affects the way we design interfaces. Whether it's a website, an app, or any form of content, adhering to this principle can significantly improve the user's interaction with the interface. Johnson encourages us to respect Miller's Law by chunking information into groups of 5 to 9 items. Consider a navigation menu on a website. Instead of presenting users with a long list of options, we can break down categories into smaller, more manageable groups. This allows users to navigate more efficiently without overloading their working memory. Take a moment to reflect on the websites or apps you use daily. Chances are they follow this principle, allowing you to access content or complete tasks without overwhelming your cognitive capacity. This keeps you engaged and satisfied, a key goal in any user interface design. Respecting Miller's Law in our designs can greatly enhance user experience. So next time you're designing an interface, remember to keep Miller's Law in mind. It's not just a psychological principle, it's a secret weapon for creating memorable user experiences. Think about your favorite websites or apps. Do they respect Miller's Law? When you examine closely, you'll likely find that they do. The most user-friendly digital platforms often adhere to this principle, keeping their content within the capacity of your working memory, ensuring you can access content or complete tasks without feeling overwhelmed. This is where the power of chunking information comes in. By breaking down information into groups of 5 to 9 items, we're able to process and retain it more effectively. Take navigation menus, for instance. Instead of presenting you with a long, intimidating list of options, they're often broken down into smaller, meaningful categories. This way, you're not overwhelmed, but empowered to navigate with ease and efficiency. This isn't just about making things easier for you. It's about engagement and satisfaction. When a website or app respects the limits of your working memory, it keeps you engaged. You're less likely to abandon a task due to frustration and more likely to have a satisfying user experience. So, what does this all mean? It means that Miller's Law isn't just some abstract concept from cognitive psychology. It has practical, real-world implications. It shapes how we interact with digital interfaces and information every day. By understanding and applying Miller's Law, we can create memorable user experiences that respect the limits of human cognition. With this knowledge in hand, you're now equipped to not only interact with the digital world more effectively, but also to shape it.